Oh, Weaver, thank you so much, love, for 65 friggin' months. Thank you. Weaver, thank you so much. How are you doing, love? Yo, Pascal. Seems like a scam. TBH. What's up, Chris? What's up, Valley? How's it going? How's the sound, guys? Is my audio peaking at all? Seems good? Okay, cool. No, you're good. Welcome back, Weaver. Good to see you too, Weaver. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your mom was okay. I've been alright. I've been okay. Pretty good today. Got some cleaning done today. I don't really want to get into it, but just the culture of the internet, you know what I mean. You know how it can be. Yeah, it's kind of out of my control, but that's okay. Do what I can. I'm excited to start making more videos, though, for the YouTubes, talking about stuff that I'm passionate about. Really hyped for that. On Beyonce's internet, oh my gosh. All of the above. To dry before I put it up in a bun so it's not too like crazy. The music's kind of loud though. I'm streaming again on YouTube, so I'm like terrified to play anything that's copyrighted, so we're kind of just listening to lo-fi. Right, yeah. They take down my stream automatically when I play it, so gotta be on the safe side. Because I had 2 strikes, luckily they took one away, so I only have 1 right now, but I don't want to get another one. I want to remain a good noodle. What's up, Defiance? How are you? Thank you, Mr. Redbeard. If 2 witches watched 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? Whichever watch whichever witch wants to. That was a mouthful. Thank you, Solo Mandan. Thank you. Top or bottom? Bunk? I'll take the bottom bunk. The top bunk scares me. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall off. Getting over strep? No! I'm glad you're getting over it, at least. Thanks, Mr. Redbeard. Hope you're having a great night, man. Really, Valley? Okay, that's a valid concern. Ideally, the bunk bed is made out of solid material, and the top doesn't collapse on me when I'm in the bottom. Where am I from? I'm originally from the Midwest of the United States of America. And then, Valley, if you're on the top and you fall down on whoever's on the bottom, then you're complicit with squishing the bottom bunk person. So, squish or be squished, I guess. Where am I now? I'm in Colorado now. So, still kind of the Midwest, but I've moved around a lot. You're gonna blame me for the force of gravity? Hey man, there had to be some acting force to send the bottom, or the top bunk tumbling to the bottom, okay? I'm not calling you fat. I'm just saying it wouldn't have fallen down if there was nothing on it. I'm just saying. I would feel so bad if I squished someone. Then again, I'm not like super heavy, so gotta see all the tats. Ah man, I get asked that question the most. I have to do a tattoo tour because I can't take off my clothes on the Ticket Talk and show you guys. What's up, Kellogg? How are you doing, love? Listen, okay, let's say this hypothetical bunk bed is sturdy. It's made with oak. Like Lincoln Logs. It's like locked in there. It's not coming down. But the odds of me rolling off the top with how much I flail in my sleep, still pretty fucking high. Bottom bunk, you can turn into like a blanket for it. You can like put lights all in there. It's like more cozy on the bottom for sure, for sure. And you can like fortify the bottom with like sticks and like make sure that if it's gonna fall, it's like something catches it. We need to take a trip together. To where? The seventh dimension? Glad you're not doing too bad, Kellogg. Waiting for my hair to dry so I can put it up. That's okay. There's no analogy. I'm just talking about bunk beds. You guys' minds are just in the gutter. I'm just talking about the structural integrity of a good old-fashioned bunk bed. Good night, Sleepy Weaver. Take care. Be safe. Thank you, Weaver. With fairy lights and willpower and sturdy wooden poles. No pun intended. Do I know anything about the dark side of the moon? A little bit. I'm not an expert. Oh my gosh, yes, Valerie. That's a funny scene. I was so glad to see you too, Weaver. I'll see you next time. I really want to actually build a bunch of furniture and my house from cedar, because I hear it's good for keeping bugs out. From a distance, your room there looks like a drum set. Is it a shelf? Where? In the bathroom? Isn't cedar pretty allergenic, or is that just the bark? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what part of the cedar causes the allergy. I'd have to look into that. My throat tattoo is a butterfly and a Sri Yantra symbol. Oh yeah, that's my bathroom. That's like a shelf back there. There's a shelf above the toilet and a shelf on the counter. They make concrete out of mushrooms. That's awesome. I think I've seen something similar to that, but definitely send me it. I'm not sure if I've seen that one before specifically. Oh no! You're allergic to Cedar Valley? That sucks. Yeah, I'd be curious too what part of it causes allergies, because I have a friend of mine, she's allergic to like everything, cats, dogs, weed, various other plants and things. I don't think I'm allergic to too many things, but then again, I don't know. Oh, Kellogg's in the Kick chat too. What's up, Kellogg? That is a Charmander. I love the little Charmander emote they have. Bottom bunk is better. Yeah, you don't have to jump up and down. Yeah, I make a fuck ton of noise too. Or be Spider-Man. Hi, Alexander. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. the rose, Redbeard. Sorry, I was talking to Twitch chat as well, guys. I'm also live on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. And TikTok. Fun thing about allergies, you can always become sensitized? What do you mean? Like you can get allergies later in life? So I won't let you join? What do you mean? Damn. Damn, that sucks. That really sucks. What's the plan? What's up, Polar? I'm doing my makeup right now. Getting in a costume because I got some custom content to make in a costume. Thank you, love. Hope you're having a good night. Ooh, cool. Yeah, post it in the Discord, Kellogg. Thanks for the likes, Polar. I look good with short hair, thank you. Or my hair in a bun. Need more whiskey. Ooh. Wow, 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 wow. Give me one sec, guys. Thanks, Max. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Uh-oh. much, love. How's your night going? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I'm just getting in my 2B cosplay because I got some custom content to film tonight. Doing a little Twitch stream and a YouTube stream for the first time in a long time. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Yes, indeedy. Jake, thank you for the roses! Thank you so much. Welcome in, Jess. Got some medieval jams going right now. About to dry your hair. Nice. Very nice. Does anyone have any fun Halloween plans this year? You guys doing anything fun? I'm probably gonna carve pumpkins this week. Went to a Halloween board game party last weekend. Ooh, that sounds fun. Ooh, Lacuna Coil, nice. That sounds fun. Should I watch them on stream, Kellogg? Ayo, thanks for the follow, Sweep. I think I might have seen these ones. Maybe. I see. It's a bot.
plaguing us now. About 91% of plastic isn't recycled, and we consume about 5 grams of microplastic waste in our food every single week. But there's a possible solution. Fungus. Yes, fungus. Mycelium technology might be the next big boom, like this mycelium brick. A plastic-like replacement with many uses and new opportunities for products.
I think I saw this one, but we'll watch it again.
Let's explore mycelium technology and how it can help us achieve a renewable and cleaner future. and one where we don't end up eating so much plastic. I'm Matt Farrell. Welcome to Undecided. When we think about plastics, different types, shapes, colors, and sizes, like soda bottles, spring to mind. But from a chemist's perspective, they're all made of the same class materials, polymers. Now, while bakelite, which was the first synthetic plastic created from organic compounds, was created in 1907, polymers weren't discovered until 1920 by Hermann Staudinger. A polymer is a broad term that encompasses a substance with large molecules made up of repeating subunits that are bonded together. Just as it was for several other materials, World War II was actually a great impetus for the development of plastic and chemical innovations like polyethylene, polystyrene, and nylon. It's kind of the dark side of innovation.
If you want to, you can, Kellogg.
Now, later in the 1950s, plastics manufacturers started to make consumer products.
A malicious one? You can either time it out or ban it, whatever you want to do.
And to quote the movie The Graduate, just one word: plastics. And during that decade, manufacturers introduced polyester and polypropylene, one of the most used polymers in the world. Plastics have made our life a lot easier to store liquid and food. It costs much less than other materials, it's water and heat resistant, and it's durable. Sadly, the plastic industry oversold its recyclability. It's cheaper to make new than to recycle old. Combine that with its excessive use and non-biodegradable nature, and plastics have become one of the most widespread, harmful substances around the world. In America, 100 billion plastic bags are thrown away every single year, not to mention all the other packaging materials and plastics that are discarded. The problem is that they can hang around in the environment for hundreds of years, and burning plastics releases toxic chemicals that can harm plants and animals. But it turns out that we may have a robust, sustainable alternative to replace plastic: mycelium.
Now, this organism is the underground root-like body for fungi that produce mushrooms. So if you compare it to a plant, mycelium is the root and the mushroom is the flower. The mushrooms that we eat are only a small, visible part of a much larger organism. Now, fungi are important to ecosystems due to their ability to recycle nutrients, allowing previously locked away nutrients to become available to other organisms. And they're surprisingly robust and able to spread easily under the right conditions. All it takes is a few spores to germinate. As it grows, it releases enzymes to digest the surroundings and absorb the nutrients. Essentially, the cells begin to branch out and continue to grow to build a vast mycelial network. It's only
What, Kellogg? That's insane.
Begin to grow. And this is where we can tap into its potential. Rather than letting a mushroom pop up, humans can create forms around the mycelium as they grow to build predictable structures by providing a framework. This is an example of mycelium grown into a brick form. It's not that different from using molds with inorganic materials like metal or plastic.
We're just letting Mother Nature do the work. The production process is kind of simple. It uses a mix of agricultural waste, which could be anything from hemp to wood chips, and it's bound with mycelium structures. After that, we have the base material for most mycelium-based products, known as the foam. This mixture is put into molds for whatever you're trying to make and placed into an environment with controlled CO2, humidity levels, airflow, and temperature. It's a pretty quick process, because fibers can be found just after a few hours, and a visible layer after just a day or two. And usually within a week, the mycelium foam fills the mold, so overall it takes about a week. Mycelium foam is a great insulator. It's resilient, safe, strong, and biodegradable, which opens up a world of possibilities for a lot of products like packaging, clothing, construction, and even food. Now, unlike plastics and other synthetic materials, which can take hundreds of years to decompose, mycelium-based products naturally degrade after their intended product cycle. A nice bonus, mycelium foam is inexpensive and cost competitive with polystyrene foam. Now, mycelium technology has spawned a lot of companies from several industries around the world. The pioneer was Ecovative, which introduced mycelium technology in 2006. With more than 40 patents in 31 countries, most mycelium composites and materials out there are actually made under their license. Now, Ecovative develops several branches of products. Its Microflex technology, for example, is used to produce everything from lightweight insulating lofts for gloves to high-performance foams and footwear. It's heat-resistant, insulating, breathable, and very strong. In packaging materials, they've created a high-performing, cost-competitive solution that provides thermal insulation, water-resistant, and decomposes in the soil within 45 days. It's a great alternative for polystyrene. And even better, mushroom-based packaging uses only 12% of the energy from plastic production and generates 90% less CO2 equivalents. Some examples of companies licensing the technology are the Magical Mushroom Company in the UK, Paradise Packaging Company in California, Grown Bio in the Netherlands, and Biofab in New Zealand. And IKEA announced that they're going to replace styrofoam packaging with microcomposite for all of its products. I wonder if they'll give it a name. Now, Ecovative has also spun out Outlast Food Company, which creates whole-cut plant-based meats. And unlike other plant-based meats, the products from Outlast have almost no processing. And apologies to the vegetarians out there, because this might be a little gross, but part of the reason it works so well as a fake meat is because mycelium fibers grow together in a tissue that resembles the fiber-like texture of muscle tissues in animals. Interesting, if not a little gross. So we've had packaging and food, but what about clothing? Bolt Threads is using their Milo technology as a sustainable alternative to leather that we'll be seeing in the market through their partners, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, like Adidas, Kering, Lululemon, and Stella McCartney. And by the way, Adidas has recently launched the Adidas Stan Smith Milo. It's the first shoe of its type made with mushroom-based material. It was used in the classic 3 stripes, the heel tab overlay, and the signature branding that their shoes are definitely known for. One question you may be asking yourself, because I know I was asking it when I was learning about this stuff, is the fungus still
My Discord
alive, and
is
can it keep
on
growing within
my
the products?
all my links.
I don't think I'd want a pair
If you go to
of growing shoes.
cassiecatnip.art,
Although that might
should
save
take you
parents a lot of
to a
money if
little
their
website,
shoes were growing as
and then you
fast as
click on
their
the
kids.
fox, and then
But
take
for
you
most
to my
commercial
all my
products,
links, and my
mycelium
Discord
is
link should be
heated
there.
long before it reaches the customer in order to kill
And
it,
Kellogg, I think,
maintain
posted
the
it in the
product's
mycology
intended form,
channel.
and to prevent growing mushrooms
Yeah.
and spewing spores.
As if the trifecta of packaging, food, and clothing wasn't enough, let's step up to the quadfecta. But before I get to that, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, CuriosityStream. If you'd like to watch more videos on topics just like this, you should really check it out. They have thousands of documentaries and nonfiction shows on pretty much every topic you can think of. If you enjoy science and technology, which I'm assuming you do because you're watching my channel, they have documentaries like The Kingdom, How Fungi Made Our World, or The Origami Code, which explores how researchers in robotics, medicine, and nanotechnologies are embracing origami philosophy to try to understand how to duplicate nature's folding principles. CuriosityStream really does have something for everyone, including 35 collections handpicked by experts, including some award-winning exclusives and originals. Best of all is that you can stream to any device, anytime, anywhere. It really is smart TV for your smart TV. And they have a special offer for all of you if you sign up with the code UNDECIDED. You'll get an entire year for just $14.99. That's an insanely good deal. Link in the description below, and thanks to CuriosityStream and to all of you for supporting the channel. So back to the quadfecta. Mycelium has also been used in the building industry. One example is the UK-based startup Biome. It's been producing a mycelium insulation panel that will be the world's first accredited mycelium insulation product. The company manufactures mycelium rigid insulation in accordance with the industry standard 1200 by 2400 millimeter sizing, but custom panels can be manufactured to meet the needs of any project. Now, in addition to being healthier and safer, mycelium outperforms petrochemical, plastic-based construction materials in thermal and acoustic insulation. Tests show an acoustic absorption of at least 75% at 1000 Hz for mycelium panels, which is typical for road traffic noise. On top of that, during a fire, mycelium doesn't cause harmful toxic smoke since it's not made of synthetic resin-based compounds. But using mushrooms as a weight-bearing construction material still requires extensive research and development. It isn't as strong and doesn't have as long of a useful life cycle when compared to most building materials. For example, concrete can withstand between 4,000 and 10,000 psi, while mushroom bricks can only hold up to 30 psi. But an architectural team known as The Living designed the world's first mushroom brick tower in 2014. The bricks used to construct the building were grown in 3 separate molds. It consisted of 10,000 bricks and reached 40 feet into the air. Now, prior to building the tower, engineers subjected the bricks to accelerated aging, which is a process that simulated 3 years of weathering over the course of 3 weeks. One of the coordinators at The Living said, after 3 years of accelerated aging, the material performed exactly the same as it did originally. A structure made of mycelium was also built for the Dutch Design Week. The Growing Pavilion was a temporary event space that was built with mycelium panels supported on a timber frame. But we're not going to stop with the quadfecta. We're going to go for the pentafecta. Is that even a word? Pentafecta? I'm going to go with it. Well, the pentafecta for mycelium is possibly wearables. Not clothing, but wearable technology. A curious use of mycelium was investigated in a recent study titled Reactive Fungal Wearable. The researchers explored the use of fungi as a potential candidate for biowearables. Processors and tech wearables like Fitbits could be replaced by incorporating mushroom mycelium. They performed experiments on the electrical response of a hemp fabric captured by oyster fungi. They attached it to computer sensors and stimulated it with attractants and repellents. The oyster mushroom mycelium was able to recognize several external stimuli like temperature, moisture, light, some chemicals in the environment, and even electrical signals in a way that imitates the function of sensors and processors. Dr. Mohammed Mahdi Dashibi, a researcher with the UOC's Scene Understanding and Artificial Intelligence Lab, and the author of the study said, "We can reprogram a geometry and graph theoretical structure of the mycelium networks, then use the fungi's electrical activity to realize computing circuits. Fungi do not only respond to stimuli and trigger signals accordingly, but also allow us to manipulate them to carry out computational tasks, in other words, to process information." With that pentafecta of applications, you can start to see the potential. And the more I say pentafecta, the worse it sounds. In 2019, the global mushroom market reached a value of $53.7 billion, and it's expected that it can reach $86.6 billion by 2025, which is a CAGR of 8.3%. A combo of cost efficiency, consumer response, and government policies to reduce the use of plastics is going to drive the mycelium market. In the US, for example, Maine state government has banned polystyrene food containers, and that legislation is looking like it will spread to Colorado, Vermont, New Jersey, and Oregon as well. That action may pave the way for a national campaign against styrofoam, which is a substance that's virtually impossible to recycle. The ban is expected to force restaurants and grocery stores to look for new options, making room for mushroom packaging to grow. Yes, that was a really bad joke. Now, while restaurants and grocery store owners may not be going for mushroom packaging yet because of the slightly higher costs, economies of scale and government support could result in more opportunities and reduced costs. There's a lot of possibility for mycelium-based products to branch out in the near future and become a popular packaging material. For the other uses of mycelium, like clothing, food, and construction materials, time will tell if it will make it to the mainstream. So what do you think? Anything I missed? Would you want to live in a mycelium-insulated home? Jump into the comments and let me know. And if you like this video, be sure to check out one of the ones I've linked to right here. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you think I've earned it. And as always, thanks to all my patrons and a big welcome to new producers Cowboy Steve and Kevin Janflone. Your support really does help to make these videos possible. And thanks to all of you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus have all the action.
Holy smokes!
This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. Plastic changed the course of manufacturing forever, but a lot of that came at a cost that's plaguing us now. About 91% of plastic isn't recycled, and we consume about...
Can I show you something?
Yeah, what you got?
It's a mushroom brick. We actually made a brick
Right,
out
how long?
of mushrooms.
I'm pretty
Happy with it?
And why do you have that?
Well, there's actually this whole movement of researchers and engineers and architects who are all looking for a more sustainable building material. Right now, the construction of new buildings accounts for more than 1/10 of all the world's annual carbon dioxide emissions. A lot of that comes from the materials used, things like cement, which is responsible for pumping out almost 4 times as much CO2 as the entire aviation industry. So we just really need alternatives.
And we're gonna solve that with mushrooms.
Well, we made this brick because we wanted to check out the whole process. Foraging for a mushroom, growing it in a petri dish, all the way to stress testing.
Oh shoot.
We wanted to see what mushrooms are
That's what you're doing right now, Belly?
And how did all that go?
So, to start, we needed to find a mushroom sample. I don't know the first thing about mushrooms, so I found someone who does.
This is the gem-studded puffball. It's edible when it's white on the inside, and this is a deadly toxic mushroom called the destroying angel. If you eat this, you will die.
This is William Padilla Brown. He knows a lot about mushrooms.
I have cultivated over 35 species of mushrooms: Cordyceps militaris, Talipocladium ophioglycoides, Grifola frondosa, Hericium erinaceus, Hericium americanum, Foliota adiposa. Geez, there's so many Latin names, it's hard to always remember all of them.
We drove out to the forests of Pennsylvania to enlist William's help finding the perfect mushroom sample. He's a regular in these woods.
I spend a lot of time in the forest collecting various organisms, bringing them back to the lab, getting to understand their DNA intimately, experimenting with them for potential medicinal or culinary value.
William focuses most of his research on the Cordyceps militaris mushroom.
Which are an entomopathogenic fungi, which means they grow on insects in the wild.
He published the first English handbook on its cultivation.
Now there are people cultivating cordyceps, which has been really exciting to watch the process of that happen from like my bedroom to houses and farms all around.
Wandering through the forest, foraging for fungi. This wasn't always the case for William.
I grew up in cities. Trees weren't even like a thing to me. It was just like background colors. My brain didn't recognize natural patterns whatsoever.
Then William had an epiphany.
Am I allowed to say like whatever?
A mushroom-related epiphany.
I went in the woods and I started to realize that I'm connected to all of this. I started to find the really interesting, unique, delightful aspects of the forests. And then after that, the passion that I developed around natural ecosystems drove me to dive into a better understanding, which I found through science.
After a short hike, he led us to this tree, a black locust, and growing on that tree,
Phalinus robina, the cracked cap polypore mushroom. It's a beautiful specimen here.
William says this is a great species for building with.
This mushroom is very hard and corky, and the mycelium will retain some of those properties as well. I'm not gonna take the whole thing down, that'd be disrespectful. I'm just gonna take a piece of it. It's so corky. Should be enough.
This tiny snip of mushroom was our starting point. Back at William's lab, he dropped even smaller tissue samples into some agar, basically food for the mycelium.
And we only need like a tiny piece of the mycelium to make this grow out.
And with a few petri dishes in tow, we headed back to New York. Next, we needed to grow the brick, which took some time. Some of our samples molded, and some of them didn't grow much at all. But we got a couple samples with clean mycelium fibers. That's all this white stuff on the petri dish. Mycelium is like the roots of a tree. They snake out seeking food and form a fibrous network throughout the forest. The dense, crisscrossing mycelium fibers gives it its strength. So we wanted to grow the mycelium and coax it into a useful shape. This part was tedious. Move the fuzzy gunk into a small jar full of grains. Wait a week. Move the result into a bigger jar full of sawdust pellets and soybean hulls. Wait another week. Cram that all into a mold in the shape of a brick. Wait another week. And hope all the while that the mycelium inside keeps growing denser and stronger. So if you're paying attention, that's over 4 weeks. So while we waited, I called up David Benjamin.
Hi, how are you?
He is an architect who sees a lot of potential in mycelium as a green building material.
It's a great moment to be exploring it.
In 2014, David built a tower out of mycelium bricks as a way to showcase mushrooms' potential, and it went on display in New York City.
We ended up creating a pavilion that was about 40 feet tall. The actual thing that we made this new architecture out of is a new kind of brick out of agricultural waste and mycelium.
After that, he got even more ambitious for another exhibit in Paris.
For this one, we deliberately kept the building blocks alive in a way that we could put 2 bricks or 2 blocks next to each other, and in just the right conditions, they would grow together.
This might look and sound kind of bizarre, but mushroom bricks actually have a lot going for them compared to more polluting building materials. You don't need to burn fossil fuels to produce them, and when you're done with them, they don't leave behind a toxic mess.
We could make architecture by kind of growing the building block materials, then make a structure, and then at the end of the useful life, return that structure, all those materials back to the earth, instead of having them sit in a landfill for hundreds or thousands of years.
More than a month after our trip to the woods with William, we had a mold full of mycelium. We popped the material out of the mold and into the oven. Baking it on low heat for a few hours stops the mushroom from growing. And finally, mushroom brick. I was just surprised by how light this is. It almost feels like a piece of wood, I guess. Yeah, it does kind of sound like knocking on wood. It is cracking a little bit. Hey, I've never made a brick out of mushrooms before. I don't know anyone else who has, so I'm impressed. So what should an eco-minded designer do with a brick like this? Building an entire structure would be ambitious. Mushroom bricks alone are not as strong as concrete. So this means a stress test for 2 other really promising uses. We got some help for this bit too.
Yes, there we go. I think I got the settings good. Okay.
Sonia Travaglini is a mechanical engineer at UC Berkeley.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Probably not, Valley.
Are really the first sort of experiments you do.
But it could be like some kind of like substrate to build off of, and you could like fortify it with other things.
To use our
It could be like insulation
for walls that aren't load-bearing.
Mycelium used this way wouldn't have to hold anything up. It'd just have to carry its own weight.
So we're gonna do a DIY compression test. We're basically gonna stack these 38-pound cinder blocks on top of the mushroom brick to see if it squishes.
Compression tests are really good to understand how much weight or how much force a material can withstand until it squishes.
Did it squish?
This is more of a sort of rough and ready, perhaps preliminary test just to see if you're in the right ballpark figure of strength.
Last one. Please don't fall on my foot. Is it squishing a lot? Let's take it one step further and get some more weight on there. Nice.
Next up, the chocolate test. How well could mycelium insulate a building?
So I would recommend doing this outdoors and with plenty of PPE.
On one side of the brick, a chocolate bar that melts at around body temperature. On the other side, a blowtorch. You can see where this is going.
Here we go.
The easiest way to see if something will go on fire is to set it on fire.
Oh man, I think this thing is catching fire. 19 to 20, all right. Oh shoot. You know what? The chocolate is not even soft. After 20 seconds of direct heat, a flame, a blowtorch.
Right.
On this side of the brick, the other side of the brick is unharmed, and so is the chocolate.
I think it's really smoking.
Yeah, I think we gotta put it out. All right, thanks for donating your water, Corey.
There's a long way to go to develop mycelium building materials further to make sure they'll perform as well, if not better, than the stuff they're replacing. Meanwhile, other people are working on making clothes and even leather-like shoes with material made from mushrooms. Mycelium also turns out to be a good alternative to plastic and styrofoam in packaging. There are so many possibilities. William sums it up well.
Fungi are some of the most ancient and most resilient organisms. They've survived every single mass extinction, and they've been here for the longest time, and they hold that wisdom. I feel as though nature gave us everything we need if we look in the right places.
Thanks to Lexus for their support. Be sure to check out the new 2021 Lexus IS by going to lexus.com/IS. Their campaign is about going all in on your passion and getting a greater reward, which is why they've sponsored this series on researchers and innovators. They don't influence our editorial, but they do help make productions like this viable. So thanks again to them, and thank you for watching.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money.
Oh my gosh!
Bakelite, the first modern plastic, was invented in 1907. It led to the creation of synthetic polymers, which are compounds made up of repeating units or monomers. Plastics have transformed everyday life and are one of the biggest chemical success stories of the 20th century. But their versatility has consequences. Annual production of plastics has now crossed over 300 million tons, of which less than 10% is recycled. In under a century, we have created a destructive economy of single-use plastics that is choking the planet. One promising solution to plastic pollution is mycelium or mushroom packaging. It is made up of 2 ingredients.
Definitely could
Mushrooms
replace,
and hemp.
like, food
Mycelium
packaging
is
though,
the
I
root of
imagine.
mushrooms. It is the underground network
Like
of very
styrofoam.
durable
Thread-like filaments called hyphae. It acts like a biological binder or glue that holds the product together. It is mixed with agricultural waste like wood chips, oat hulls, cotton burrs, or hemp hurds. One of the largest mushroom packaging manufacturers in the world is Ecovative Design, a New York-based biotech company founded in 2006. They sent me these samples of their product. Their manufacturing process is pretty straightforward. Their designers create a 3D CAD model of custom packaging. A CNC machine routes the design into MDF. Plastic trays are thermoformed around the MDF pieces. They use PETG or polyethylene terephthalate glycol, which can be reused and recycled. Yes, it's ironic to use plastic trays, but this proves how difficult it is to eliminate plastic from our lives. The tray is filled with their proprietary hemp hurd and mycelium blend. It is allowed to grow for 4 days in a controlled environment with regulated temperatures, airflow, carbon dioxide, and humidity levels. Mycelium strands quickly fill the empty spaces in the mold.
Yeah,
In
for
just
sure.
7 days, the form is complete.
It is popped out of the tray and allowed to continue growing for 2 more days to create a velvety layer of overgrowth. The packaging
Is then
Isn't
heat treated to dry out, test spores, and
styrofoam
stop
made
the growth
from
process.
napalm though? Isn't that kind of harmful?
Ecovative Design has produced 5 million pounds of mushroom packaging.
in the past few years. They have licensed their formula to companies in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Companies like IKEA, Dell, and Seedlip have committed to using mushroom packaging. This material can last for up to 30 years in dry, temperature-controlled environments. It is also 100% biodegradable and a nutrient for soil and plants. When broken down into 1 cubic centimeter pieces, it will compost in
Just 45 days. In the ocean,
Have a
it
great
will break
night.
down
Thanks
in
so much for
180
stopping
days.
by.
Architects and engineers
around the world have been experimenting with mushroom bricks. In 2014, a 40-foot or 12-meter high tower was built in New York by Ecovative, Arup, and The Living. 10,000 bricks were made from mycelium and corn stalks. They were stacked to form 3 interwoven chimneys. A wood scaffold on the inside provided additional support. The structure could resist wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour. This temporary installation was taken down in 3 months and the mushroom bricks were composted. In 2019, a drum-shaped temporary pavilion was set up in the Netherlands. It was composed of a timber frame, actively growing mushroom wall panels, and seating made of agricultural waste. Another potentially good use of mushroom bricks is for world expos and Olympic pavilions. Countries spend billions hosting these events and go into debt that some never recover from. Many Olympic villages turn into abandoned ghost towns in just a few years. Using cheap, biodegradable materials can be a sustainable and visually attractive alternative. Biome, a UK-based startup, has developed a mycelium insulation panel. It outperforms traditional insulation like Rockwool and fiberglass in terms of thermal capacity, fire resistance, and acoustic performance. I'm concerned about the lifespan of this product. 20 years down the line, are you expected to rip out all your drywall and install new insulation? That would be a waste of time and money. In addition to packaging materials, Ecovative is also experimenting with
mycelium
how are
leather
you, love?
that is grown in 9 days.
Insulating foam for jackets, backpack straps, and footwear, bacon and other plant-based meat, coffins and urns. They even sell grow-it-yourself material for just $13.
I think they'd definitely be
And
good
forms to make
for
candles,
like
bricks, and
coffins.
tiles. Now let's discuss
I would
the
want my
advantages,
coffin to be like that, just like
disadvantages, and myths
decomposed,
surrounding this
but
new technology. Mushroom packaging and other mycelium-based products
I actually want
are
one of those tree
non-toxic
coffins
and free
though.
of VSCs and formaldehydes. They
Consume a tenth of the energy of foam and emit an eighth of the amount of greenhouse gases. They are cradle to cradle gold certified. It is an excellent example of a sustainable circular economy product. It is also quite spongy, so it can protect fragile materials just as well as petroleum-based foam. Ecovative claims that it is a cost, time, and performance competitive solution to plastic packaging. Mushroom packaging is naturally hydrophobic or water resistant. Water droplets roll right off and do not soak through. However, prolonged exposure to moisture and high humidity will lead to mold. Due to the inherent properties of mycelium, this material is a Class A fire retardant and has a very low flame spread of 20. Now the disadvantages. It is not very strong. It has a compressive strength of just 18 psi, so it can't be used as a structural material. It also has a short lifespan of
But
20
to
to 30
like
years.
replace plastic
It can't be used
bags.
as food storage containers, so it won't replace styrofoam right now.
Yeah.
Since it is such a new technology, the few companies that produce these have patented the production process, which is a barrier to entry.
The super low cost of plastic production is unfortunately a huge deterrent to the future of this technology. Plastic also offers many advantages like long-term water resistance and a longer lifespan. Molded pulp packaging, which has been around for 100 years, is another sustainable competitor to mycelium packaging, but it is heavier, which can raise shipping costs. Just with 3D printing, we're being fed some pretty outrageous claims. Your next house could be made of mushrooms. Mushrooms can save the world. Build space homes out of mushrooms. Why future homes could be made out of living fungus. Building with living mycelium is a huge challenge. The substrate material like straw or hemp stalks will decompose and reduce the structural integrity of the material. A Cleveland architecture firm, Red House Architecture, is working on a biocycling process.
Yeah, I have
They want to
reservations
demolish
about that. I
every
know
plant,
Paul
combine the
Stamets
waste with
patented a
mycelium,
certain
and
combination
create
with
new building
microdosing
materials.
mushrooms
They
too, and I
believe
think that
it
kind
can
of
be
stuff is
used
a
for
little
disaster
sus.
relief housing.
And can also fix a housing shortage. Let's be realistic, separating individual parts of a house like drywall, insulation, wood studs, concrete, plastic pipes, etc. is extremely time and energy intensive. We can't just pulverize old homes and turn them into new ones. The plastic industry has been complacent for too long and has avoided setting up an extensive recycling network. I hope competition like this will force them to be more responsible. Leave me a comment below with your thoughts on mushroom packaging and other mycelium-based products. Do you think it can replace plastic? I'll link my Patreon page in the description. If you can support me, I'd really appreciate it. A big thank you to everyone already supporting me. Don't forget to hit the like button.
I don't like corporate
Thanks for watching.
gatekeeping of like natural things.
Let's go help people customize
I guess
and
if you
save
discover
$652
something,
with Liberty Mutual.
you have a right to patent it, but I don't know. Like, I don't like what Big Pharma's done with patenting certain medications and preventing people from getting them at affordable rates.
And marshmallow, but it's actually a mushroom.
Slice it and you get crispy vegan bacon, or a convincing alternative to leather. And this lab grows an eco-friendly replacement to styrofoam, that light but bulky material taking up 1/3 of the space in all landfills. But can this company grow it fast enough to make a global impact? We visited Ecovative's headquarters in Green Island, New York to find out. The magic is in mycelium, the living root structures of mushrooms.
Our entire philosophy is actually based around this idea that nature provides. Mycelium is a great solution to both the plastics waste problem we face as well as animal agriculture.
I'm taking the mushroom mycelium and then I'm just going to section this petri dish.
All Ecovative products start with these natural building blocks.
We have about 100 different strains in-house, and we will analyze those for the different material properties that they have.
What do you think about the wall thickness on this? It's pretty thin.
The company's best-selling product is called Myco-Composite. It has similar properties to styrofoam, but it's completely biodegradable.
We've worked with a variety of companies, some of them huge companies like Dell Computers, where they've used our earth-friendly packaging to ship servers. We've worked also with small New York startup brands like Keep Candles.
Manufacturers design molds using large, recyclable plastic sheets. Heat makes the sheets pliable, so they can be shaped around any product. They start with wood chips, corn husks, or hemp that would otherwise be thrown out by local farms. Then sprinkle in some fungal spores and add water.
For some reason I thought it was longer. I didn't know that either.
Pack the mixture into the molds, and the mycelium starts to grow, feeding
on the shredded agricultural waste. Just over a week later, the form-fitted mold is ready to ship.
So this jar, and it fits really nice in there.
The final material is a little bit heavier than styrofoam, but velvety soft to the touch. This packaging breaks down in just 30 days. Conventional styrofoam never really goes away. It can stay in the environment for up to 5 centuries, and less than 1% is ever recycled. Ecovative has a different process to make vegan meat and leather, which it claims consumes far fewer resources than the real thing.
And then we're going to take this substrate, which will inoculate this sawdust.
Workers still start with agricultural waste and spores, but these mixtures are placed in vertical farms, growth chambers that mimic the conditions of natural soil.
And so what it's really trying to do is grow up and punch out through the earth to form a mushroom. But we keep the environment such that it just grows and grows into this large marshmallow-like structure.
That marshmallow is called aerial mycelium, and it grows over the course of about 10 days. Their largest chamber can produce up to 200,000 pounds of mycelium per year.
We end up with these large industrial slabs, which can be like 50 feet long and 5 feet wide and a couple inches thick.
In 2018, the company licensed its leather-making process to Bolt Threads. They make Milo, a leather alternative that has been used in clothing and handbags. In 2020, the company launched a line of mushroom-based meat alternatives called My Eats. The My is short for mycelium. The first product is called My Bacon. It's made from aerial mycelium that's cut into slices, compressed, and seasoned.
It fries
Flashes
up
are a
and gets
little
crispy, just like
ridiculous.
bacon, and tastes pretty amazing too.
We can't confirm the flavor, but My Bacon is definitely a healthier option. It's high in fiber and has the same protein content as a regular slice of bacon, with 1/5 the fat. The company projects that as it scales up, My Bacon can eventually be grown for $1 per pound, a fifth of the market price of pork bacon. And it takes nearly 600 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of pork, but just over 1 gallon of water to grow a pound of mycelium bacon. Eben Bayer and Gavin McIntyre founded Ecovative Design in 2007 and debuted their microcomposite packaging in 2011. Since then, a growing number of cities and states have banned the use of styrofoam. But the United States does not have countrywide restrictions, and the average person still uses 75 foam coffee cups per year, adding up to 25 billion. In 2020, Ecovative produced over 6 million pounds of its foam alternative, but that's just 0.5% of the cups Americans consumed. My Bacon might have an easier time catching on. The market for meat substitutes is worth about $4 billion and is set to double over the next 5 years.
Bacon is a really important leverage point in the market. It's one of the #1 reasons people say they won't stop eating meat.
Mycelium protein can mimic whole cuts of meat as opposed to most other plant-based alternatives, which come in the form of minced patties or sausages. But right now, My Bacon is only available in one grocery store in Albany, New York. Ecovative plans on branching out to more stores in 2021, and it's currently building farms with the capacity to produce 1 million pounds of mycelium per year. The company recently announced it's raised a total of $100 million in capital. Compare that with Impossible Foods, a more established brand, which has raised $700 million to date. Ecovative Design is a long way from displacing plastics and factory farming. But according to Eben, his company is harnessing the potential of the living world.
My background and journey has been around figuring out how we can reimagine working with nature and using nature to create better solutions for everyday products we have to use as humans that just have less impact on the earth.
Young people around the world are finding ways to solve our trash problem. In Kenya, these bricks made from recycled plastic are paving roads.
Plastic waste is not just a Kenya problem, it's not a Nairobi problem, it's a worldwide problem.
In Sierra Leone, This paste will become a sustainable cooking fuel made from coconut shells instead of wood. The 18-year-old who made it spent months developing the perfect recipe.
I was like, it's either it works or it works. It needs to work.
And in the United States, this woman has saved 4 million beer bottles worth of glass from landfills and recycled them back into sand.
Never let anyone tell you that individuals
That's
cannot
cool.
make a difference, because all of this is thanks to incredible individuals.
These entrepreneurs grew up in the era of climate change. Now they are inventing new ways to help the planet and make a profit off worldwide waste.
This is melted plastic mixed with sand.
It has to look like poo. Ideally speaking, it's very visual like that.
And it becomes as hard as concrete once a hydraulic press squeezes it into shape. A company in Nairobi wants to install these plastic bricks on streets across Kenya's capital. Nzambe Mate opened her company, Jijenge Makers, in 2018.
So jijenge is a Swahili word which translates to build yourself.
The factory processes 3 of the 7 types of single-use plastics.
Here on my right, these are the hard plastics, and here on my left, these are the soft plastics.
Kenya has one of the world's toughest bans on plastic bags, but bottles and other containers are still everywhere. This is where workers sort them. They can handle about 10 metric tons of plastic every month.
So this is the guy who starts our production. Without him, we are happy. So big up.
Vinny operates the crusher, which pulverizes plastic into small pieces.
Just crushes it very loud.
Workers fold the dry mix together with a shovel.
Depending on the color you want, this is a stage at which you put the color pigment. And then after that, it's fed on the extruder.
This machine heats the plastic and sand mixture until it's soft enough to mold.
This is one of my proudest moments as a person, as a team member, and also as the founder of Jijenge. So what you see here, the machine and all the others, we fabricated here in Jijenge. It is mixed together at very high temperatures. So it ranges anything from 300 to 400 degrees centigrade, where it mixes that plastic and sand and forms a gooey, like a dough-like material. And that's what we make the brick with.
Each lump of the mixture is weighed by hand. People say the smell is something like new asphalt on a hot day.
So the brick currently Joseph is producing is a 1.3 kilogram. So that's what he's measuring. He's measuring 1.3 kilogram of the mixture.
This hydraulic press can squeeze 9 bricks at a time.
Ideally speaking, it's like baking a cookies. And this here is Lawrence. He's the guy with the magic touch, so I'll let him do his thing.
At this point, the bricks need to cool, so they can harden at room temperature.
So here's the curing bay. So once we take from the hydraulic press, we feed it in the curing bay, and then after like about 2 to 5 minutes, you have a finished product.
Many bricks come off the press with jagged edges. A worker breaks them off on a large stone before adding the finished bricks to a stack. A pallet of 400 plastic pavers can sell for up to $150, depending on thickness. The company says that's about 25% cheaper than bricks made from concrete. But experts say these innovations may increase the amount of plastic released into the environment.
Roads are subject to constant abrasion. We drive on them, right? And so roads are actually the primary source of microplastics in the environment.
In recent years, researchers have found microplastics in nearly every sample of our food, drinking water, the air we breathe, and even inside our bodies. Tangri says that any solution that doesn't focus on decreasing the amount of new plastic going into production lets the people who created the problem off the hook.
The petrochemical industry would like nothing better than to say we can put it all into roads or we can do something else with it.
Still, roads made with plastic are cheaper, mainly because they require less asphalt. And they make good use of plastic that would otherwise end up in places like Dandora, Nairobi's only official landfill. Nzambi knows that her invention can't tackle a mountain of trash that large. So far, her factory has recycled 50 metric tons of waste this year, but Nairobi produces 6 times that amount of plastic trash every single day.
We need variant solutions. So I cannot say this is the solution in terms of like, does the biggest impact and all that stuff? No. Does it have an impact? Yes. Do we need to do more? Definitely.
She employs 20 people full-time, nearly all of them under 30 years old.
Me, my team, and everyone else in this space, we get to earn a living, and that I'm happy with.
Most of her customers are local, including her mother, who is also an entrepreneur. She just started a business raising egg-laying hens in her backyard.
They are very peaceful birds. Yeah, I've got 1,200. Yes.
Nzambi's first experiments with plastic trash took place here. Now, her bricks cover the entire driveway.
Even outside, she has done this up to outside the compound. And we are very grateful. Now we live in a very good place.
Eventually, Nzambi wants her business to grow internationally.
Plastic waste is not just a Kenya problem, it's not a Nairobi problem, it's a worldwide problem. And so if we can figure out how to solve it in our local, then it's easy to replicate that solution to maybe to start to the East Africa region, and then to the greater part of the world.
In India, another company is also finding a way to reuse plastic waste.
These sneakers are made from 100% recycled materials. The company that makes them says each pair contains 10 plastic bags and 12 bottles. 23-year-old Ashay Bave launched Daily in July 2021.
Theli because it is the Hindi word for plastic bags.
At first, Bave struggled to gather materials, even though trash in India ends up in all kinds of places.
I assumed that it would be easy to find, waste plastic bags, but that wasn't the case.
So Bave partnered with a waste removal company that hires rag pickers. Those are people who collect recyclables from the street to sell for cash. TrioTap Technologies offers them a steady paycheck and an indoor sorting space. They clean the bags in a hot tub filled only with water, without any added chemicals, and then hang them out to dry. Inside the warehouse, Sairuddin stacks 8 to 10 layers of bags at a time. Then places the pile under a heat press. This finished product will cover most of the sneaker. The company's founder calls it Daily-Tex.
So it's a material that's made entirely out of waste plastic bags without the use of any chemicals.
They sell for about 25 US cents per sheet. Sairuddin packs and ships them 7 hours north to the Nitush footwear factory. That's where the shoe will be assembled. First, Daily-Tex sheets are die-cut using metal forms. Other patterns are cut from rPET fabric, which is made from recycled bottles, and woven into something like canvas. These sheets come from a company in Taiwan. The workers stitch the two types of materials together. The assembled upper gets stretched out. Daily's soles are made from crumbs of industrial rubber. A worker needs to rough the sole on this grinder, so the glue added in the next step will adhere. They coat the top of the sole with a clear glue. A special UV light increases its stickiness. The shoes go through a series of heat treatments and coats to strengthen the bond between the sole and the upper. Then comes the final round of stitching. Daily's laces are also made from recycled plastic. This factory employs 170 people and makes shoes for 3 different companies.
We wanted to make sure that we're still using existing sneaker manufacturing techniques. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel.
Nitush turns out 15,000 pairs of shoes every week. And they try to recycle everything, even scraps.
It's recycled, and some of it is also reused to make more 3D text sheets.
And once a customer is through with a daily sneaker, Bave says they can
Can't
send it back
find
to
my
the company
2B
for a
wig.
discount.
Like, what the heck, y'all? Can't find it.
We refurbish them.
Just gonna
and we're
see how
donating
this one
them
looks,
to
I think.
charities and refugee camps.
This young entrepreneur built a business by crushing bottles back into sand.
She co-founded what could be Louisiana's biggest glass recycling operation. And in about 2 years, she saved 4 million beer bottles worth of glass from landfills. And it's ramping up at a time when global supplies of sand are actually running out.
We are using up sand at a faster rate than it can be naturally created.
So volunteers use the crushed up glass to help rebuild the coastline.
To be free and flexible and creative was really essential to what I wanted to make, and I didn't find a platform that did that other than Wix.
Francisca Troutman started Glass Half Full with her boyfriend in February of 2020, while they were still college students.
One night during college, over a bottle of wine that we knew would end up in a landfill, we decided, instead of continuing to complain about the problem and the lack of glass recycling, that we would just do something about it.
So we had this idea, but that was about it. No waste management experience, no recycling experience.
They raised about $18,000 to cover startup costs, including a machine that could grind up 1 bottle at a time.
As this literal mountain of glass started to form in my residential neighborhood, we're like, okay, we gotta do something here, quick.
Since moving into this warehouse in August 2020, they've received a non-stop avalanche of glass to recycle.
I don't know where my water is, one sec.
Or pay to have it picked up.
Once a can is full, we will dump it into our glass mountain. Unless it's a special color, it'll be mixed into here.
Colorful bottles can be turned into specialty sand that sells at a higher price.
So this is blue sand made from Bombay gin bottles. Artists really love to use it. People love to use it in their gardens.
But most bottles are thrown onto what Fran calls Glass Mountain.
So Glass Mountain is always expanding and contracting. We're always adding glass to it and taking glass away to be crushed. Woo!
Eventually, workers scoop the bottles up with this loader and dump them into a crushing machine.
It's metered out into the conveyor belt, and it'll go up this conveyor belt and hit the hammers where it'll be crushed and then turned into sort of a mixture of sand and gravel and labels.
The pulverizer leaves behind some larger chunks of glass that are too big to use.
Everything that's bigger than 3/8 of an inch will be taken out. So that'll include labels, metals, caps. Anything non-glass will come out of this process.
They're still figuring out what to do with these leftovers.
The newer models allow you to send this waste stream back through the system. So we're working on raising money in order to get that new system.
At the warehouse, some usable sand is piling up too, because one crucial piece of equipment is too small.
You can really see the difference in size of this compared to our machine. So our machine can process a lot quicker than this can sift.
The sifter filters out any leftover label pieces and sorts the sand by size.
And you just scoop the unsifted product, put it in the top, and it'll shake it all down until it's separated into each of the 5 sizes.
The largest grains of glass help pay the bills. Glass Half Full sells them as gravel. Some buyers mix it into flooring. The smallest type of sand is a fine powder.
This is like the consistency of flour. It's extremely soft. I wish everyone could touch it and walk on it.
It goes into sandbags the company gives away for free.
People use sandbags to put up against their doors, up against their homes, anywhere where water could get in, because we're super prone to flooding here.
In between the powder and the gravel is coarse sand, the kind Fran and Max use to rebuild the coast.
So this is like the size we would be using for coastal restoration. You can see it's not sharp, so it's not going to cut me.
At an event called a deployment, The Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana dropped about 10 tons of recycled sand along Lake Pontchartrain.
This is the battlefront that y'all are helping us to protect today. Thank you for coming.
Fran and Max hand out the sand in burlap bags, which were donated by local coffee roasters.
We like being able to move it with manpower and kind of get as many people involved as we can. It's a really beautiful thing to see.
Fran and Max hope their story will inspire others to make a difference.
I think this is really more so the story of a community coming together to say we demand change and we're not going to wait any longer.
2 individuals decided to start this, and now over 2 million pounds of glass are not in a landfill, and they're making a difference in other areas.
In South Africa, 2 sisters figured out how to turn PVC into high-end home goods.
PVC is one of the most
common plastics in the world.
And even though this material can be recycled over and over again,
To cut it for sure.
It often isn't.
That's what inspired these 2 sisters to launch their own business. Mo is the artist behind Mo's Crib,
They actually dye it.
while her sister Michelle runs the business side of things.
We are actually both Mo. My African name is Mushibudi, which is an M-O, and my sister's African name is Murungwe. And our surname also happens to be M-O, Mugoni. So it really made sense for us to call it Mo's Crib.
Mo and Michelle get most of their raw material from the wholesale company Sizabantu Piping. Mo sorts through piles of broken PVC pipes, sent to the scrap heap before they were even sold.
Like this, that will definitely never be used for its sole purpose, for water or sewage, etc. So I can actually take this one.
And even though these are junk for construction companies, they're the right amount of broken for Mo and Michelle.
It's like this defect right here is exactly what we're looking for. We love this sort of pipe. So we're definitely taking this.
These pipes are 6 meters long, so workers cut them down to more manageable sizes.
Grass-fed butter. This is why you feel weird after eating butter.
Grass-fed butter. You go, whoa, grass-fed butter. Dr. Gundry likes grass-fed.
Pipes from PVC, short for polyvinyl chloride, are hard and durable. But they can be heated and reshaped without losing strength. And even a simple bonfire will be enough to do it.
The pipe comes in contact with the fire. This is to make it so that it softens.
Innocent Mango, nicknamed Franz, worked as a plumber before this, installing pipes similar to the ones he now makes into baskets.
It's fine to me not on my side. I guess that. The only good thing is try it.
He spins the pipe over the flame until it weakens into a workable texture. This part of the process could expose workers to harmful fumes, but the company told us they plan on switching to an enclosed oven sometime in 2023.
Okay, y'all, it's already 10 o'clock, so I gotta get off and make this content so I can go to sleep at a reasonable time. About the fumes? Wait, what? You see I'm cosplaying every girl during COVID who decided cutting their own bangs was a stellar idea. No, I'm actually cosplaying 2B. And the real move during COVID was actually just to chop off all your hair live on stream for no reason, for no incentive other than you're tired of having that identity, but you know. I don't know where my 2B wig is. I did cut these bangs myself on this wig. It's kind of awkward because it's like a lace front wig, so it's like not wanting to go that direction, but that's okay. Honestly, the bangs do need like more work on this thing, TBH. But I don't know, I might actually cut it into a 2B wig because the 2B wig that came with the cosplay was pretty poopy. So maybe I'll use this for that, or for Inuyasha, I'm not sure. See, the thing is, I can't find the blindfold, so you know, I either have to clean my entire room and organize all of my cosplays tonight to find it, or I can just do this cute little impromptu, witchy bee. So I think I'm gonna do that tonight, and then do a more official 2B after I either cut this wig or like find the other pieces, but we'll see. Do I have stockings? I have boots. I have big old boots. That works. Oop. It's its own thing, I don't know. I wasn't like too hyped to honestly do classic 2B. I wanted to do something kind of different, so this works. Hold on, I gotta get this boot. Oh my god. It's stuck in my chair, hold on. Okay. But yeah, I'm a little sensitive about these bangs. They kind of suck. Not my best work. Oh yeah, I don't think so, honestly. I really need to go through all my cosplay stuff and downsize some stuff, so I don't have so much to like sort through. Okay, I'll show you guys the fit real quick before I leave. I think it's cute. I like it. Also, the blindfold's kind of a pain in the ass with these like big ol' false lashes, I feel like. So I might just like rock with this for today. Thank you! Thanks for hanging out, guys, and learning about mushroom bricks and things and such. I will be posting the tiki-talkies and things and lame e-girl stuff if you guys are interested and want to check that out. I'm also working on some pretty cool video essays. I'm more excited for those things than e-girl things these days. So if you guys are interested in my brain and world things and such, yeah, definitely look forward to those. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm gonna find someone to raid on Twitch. And the sand stuff, yep. All this stuff was cool. Thanks for recommending those, Kellogg. Alright, it would mean a lot to me if you guys wanted to hang out and get ready for a raid. When is the bimbification arc? When I unalive. I've been bimbifying myself for a long time, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dun dun. So here's the thing. I want to merge the bimbofication arc with the world peace arc. I don't want it to be just a bimbo. Being just a bimbo is actually what makes me disillusioned from the world and feel like sad on the inside. I've already opened my third eye. I can't close it, man. I have too many things I want to do. Yeah, although I would love to just be no thoughts, only thoughts. I can't do it. Unfortunately. I know, it would make me a lot of money, right? You know, I'm really shoving my foot in my mouth and my ass, and it's just, yeah, you know, it's okay. It's alright. Exactly. Neuroscience is Barbie. Yes. This girl has really cool hair. I like her name. Alright, hold on guys. We're gonna raid gluten-free bagel if it'll let us. Iron out all the wrinkles. Oh my gosh. Brain smooth. Only wrinkles. No wrinkles. Yeah, I don't know. I'm over having like no thoughts and no opinion on things. I actually have opinions and thoughts and want to do things with my life. So yeah. They're horrible, Valley. New FLCL is trash garbage. Sorry. Sorry, break your heart. And if you like it, I'm wrong, and my opinion sucks. But I hated it. I hated it. They took all the worst aspects of it and they just ran with it, okay? It was not good. Yeah. It was really bad. But anyways, I need to watch the new Jujutsu Kaisen. Although Mappa is sussy. Mappa is very sussy. They just had the voice actor, one of the voice actors from Jujutsu Kaisen resign. And they like overworked their employees and it's not Gucci gang. It's not good. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I really like the animation in old FLCL, so it's definitely way different. Alright, we're gonna raid gluten-free bagel, guys. Get in the raid. Get in the raid on twitch.tv/CassieCatnip. If you want to join the raid and hype up this cool streamer with cool blonde and green hair. I don't know, she looks rad. She looks rad. Get in the stream, guys. Alright. I love you guys. I will be back soon. But yeah, let me know what you think of FLCL if you watch it, Valley. I wasn't a fan, but you know, maybe you'll see some insight from it. But yeah, happy e-girling. Thank you. Happy e-girling to you too, Kellogg, or whatever it is that you guys are doing. Okay. Alright. Gluten-free bagel. Let's go. Bye, guys.
Well, it still has like some weird issues with the brakes. It'll randomly say parking brake error. And I don't know what that means, but it drives. And hello, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, hello. I like your name, by the way. And welcome in, everyone. Hello, how are you guys? What were you doing tonight? Were you playing anything? Oh wait, I didn't see the fit check. I will stand there. Need to make my earbuds longer. Okay. Hi, hello, welcome in. Oh, and thank you for gifting a sub. Thank you. I like your name to hear. Oh, well, thank you. I did makeup and watch mushroom. Wait, what's a mushroom brick video? What is that? I like mushrooms. What does that mean? Is it